Good evening, and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the thing show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so called African American didn't find themselves in America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the indigenous one. And as on every Friday night, I got the Accomack clan mother, Lisa Cypress, with me. And we're going to talk about something that, you know, I've been hearing all these offshoot groups are confusing the youth big time. We're going to show you how that's done tonight and show you how we always seem to end back up at square one because what these people are out here telling the youth, especially the youth, it happened to me, it's happened to a whole bunch of us. These people that are out there trying to, like they giving knowledge, is really doing nothing but putting you back at square one. We're going to talk about that tonight, but we're going to talk about that reparations, why you haven't gotten it, why you don't have it, and why you ain't going to never get it. There's some things that we just don't get. I don't know why. These are things that should be right in your face, and you should go, okay, no, I won't do that. But somehow we keep falling into the same traps over and over and over, decade after decade after decade, generations after generations. It's because we don't like to talk the truth to our children or nobody. We like to keep living these lies, playing. And so since we play, other people decide they're gonna play with you, and you're gonna find out tonight. And I pumped it in the I pumped this, if you want to come in and share your thoughts of what you're thinking, you can join the conversation. Please keep it brief and please keep it on, line with what we're talking about. Because we didn't really talk about dumb stuff. Those days are over. You can go talk to those brothers who are leading everybody to that dumb stuff. They're saying stuff that they should be checked soon as they say it. But they don't check it. We playing this man sport, where we want validation from another man, no matter how dumb he is. So this whole reparations has been going on too long. And have you seen damn near every nation in the world has gotten reparations from America except the children who America produced. And the children that America produced, 90% of them don't even open their mouth. So we're going to talk about the reparation tonight, and joining me is the Accomack clan mother, Lisa Cypress. Lisa, how you doing?
Hey Gary, how you doing?
I'm
Hello,
doing.
how are you doing? Doing good?
I'm doing well.
That's great. I want to say hello to the chat and thank you for being the chat that you are, and hope everybody is doing wonderfully. And yeah, reparations, never gonna get it. So why do people still believe in reparations, and why are they recruiting our young folk? Our young folk are so hardly believing in this reparations. It's their life preserver. People have a slogan: reparations for life, FBA for life. You know, they're so invested in this dream, and why is that? I couldn't understand it, and it disturbs me because a lot of these young people are like I said, they are gun ho down on this thing, and no one's really doing anything. If there's nothing concrete being produced, done, filed, claimed for reparations, it's just a bunch of people making talking in circles and saying really nothing. And it's really, really sad because of the young people that are so tied in. I actually had a little private conversation with a young man because I was like, "So you're a FBA? So how do you is it that you believe that the FBAs are going to receive reparations. I don't understand. Do you not see that recently this United Corporation just put aside $1.3 billion to support Ukraine humanitarian efforts? Not billion, sorry,
Trillions.
correction. Trillion, $1 trillion to help support Ukraine. How is it that you feel secure that the United States Corporation is going to give? Why do you believe that? That they're going to give you reparations now? His response was this. He said they didn't intend to free the slaves, but they freed the slaves.
Say that again.
They did not intend to free the slaves, but they freed the slaves. That was his response to me when I asked him, why do you still believe that they're going to give you reparations when they throwing out $1.3 trillion to Ukrainians that nobody even heard of before like a month ago? So that's what's happening. We got this magical, mystical thinking that we got a whole generation, a whole mass of our next generation believing in a check that's going to come because they believe, right? And they feel very strongly that they are black, foundational black Americans, which means, I'm not sure, but they say it's because they are the children or the descendants of slaves. Meanwhile, you understand that these people, oh yeah, that's right. Hampton State just did that. They they giving free. Yeah, they're not only that, they're giving these people free tuition. They can go to classes for free for the whole semester up into the fall or some crap. But you understand that if you Hampton is doing it, that these people are coming in all over the country, right? And who was the other people that they just brought in here? What, didn't we just have some other immigrants coming here recently? The Afghans, right? Because the Afghans are in Virginia. They have a whole campus, a whole old like community college campus of Afghans in Virginia as well. Oh, Virginia's stacking it up with some new unmelanated blood. They trying to get all these, but they don't. I just can't even believe it. Like, how do you believe that we just got Afghans all over the daggone place? They have all of like Fort Dix got tents full of barracks full of damn Afghans. Now we got daggone Ukrainians all over the place. And you still sit up there saying, FBA for life and I'm gonna get this.
So what does that say for us? So we see the push for immigration here with our young people and the people out there teaching all this dumb shit to the people. What does that mean for us?
We got these shepherds hurting our daggone children into submission. And what I need to tell you is that you need to talk to your family and you need to talk to your friends and neighbors and you need to get them to wake up from this daggone ridiculousness. Now this is me. This is the thing. In order for you to really get reparations, first of all, don't you have to claim something? Shouldn't a suit be filed? Shouldn't you be at least going to the World Court or UN or something to make a file a claim? I mean, you can't simply walk around and rally a bunch of children together and act like that's going to get you something, because their whole talking point is that they're trying to get everybody on code. They're getting everybody together on code, and not calling yourself black, you're off code. First of all, you you cannot you can get all okay. Well, okay, let's think about this. First of all, when they're throwing money at Asians for hate crimes that never happened, and this is just within the past year or two, Asians got hate money for a hate crime that never happened. We got people at the border that were, they say were detained, but let me tell you something. When they were at the border, they were given gift bags, gift cards, brand new jackets, coats, pants, and shoes, all kinds of brand new gear, headsets, daggone uh, iPhones. They were giving everything. I mean, I can't be, might be exaggerating about the iPhone, but the thing is, they were set up with a bunch of gear, a bunch of money, and everything. But then on top of that, they gave them $400,000 or something like that for being detained in a place where they got the best health care they ever got in their life. I know because my friends worked there. The best health care they got in their life, dentistry, everything you could think of, from the rootum to the tootum, they were taken care of. Educated teachers were there. But to hear the politicians tell it, oh, they were being treated like a bunch of daggone pit bulls in a pit bull fight. That's the way they tell it. When these people were set up, they got the best care, medical, dental, schooling. They didn't get that where they came from, running through fields and jumping and going under damn rivers and guts and ditches and stuff. Are you kidding me? But then they gave them a whole boatload of money. Actually, the amount of money they gave them is more than these damn trifling ass people are talking about for reparations. It's more.
So what are they asking
Because
for?
reparations, they only asking for like 330,000, something like that, some ridiculously low amount.
Are
330.
you're kidding?
Yeah, that's it. You don't even get a half a million. You just get 330,000, which we all know half of y'all can't even damn pay off your house and damn your damn car and your student loans with that shit.
I just want to share something with the audience real quick. If you ever get to check out brother Dr. Bobby Wright, Dr. Bobby Wright talks about a condition called menticide. And menticide is when you destroy a person's or group's mind with the intention of destroying that person or group. Menticide, destroying a person or a group's mind with the intention of destroying that person or group. And you can see what we're talking about tonight is a clear case of it. You like Lisa said earlier, you having people coming over you ain't never even heard of. Your people have been kicked around in this motherfucker for forever, and you still referring to yourself as things. This is what I'm saying. This is how they can bring those people over there, because their intent is to get rid of our asses. And one of the ways they get rid of us, if we keep on just being dumb on stupid stuff, like the things Lisa's talking about tonight. Lisa, could you tell us about the HR 40 and what that amounted to?
Well, like I said, they really don't have anything currently that they're actually, they're not fighting for anything. And I mean, and the other thing is, why are they not, why is, they should be in the streets with this $1.3 trillion. I mean, if you really are, you know, uh, uh, you know, fighting for something, a organization is actually fighting for something instead of collecting money for a a history museum or whatever the hell. I don't know what is going on. But if you really are fighting for something, this is something for you to really get your teeth into. The fact that they got all these immigrants coming into the country for 1.3 billion. I'll give them credit that they at least talk about the immigration being a problem. And I will give them credit for the fact that they at least talk about the fact that um, these politicians don't mean them any good, whether they're Democrat or Republican. I'll give them credit for that. And I'll give credit where I see credit is due. But the problem is that you can't sit up there and give people a hope for something that it should be pretty obvious to you that is not going to happen. H.R. 40 was a proposal in 1989, I believe, to study, just to study the viability of reparations. Not even to give it, but just to research it. Just to research it. How in the, how in the world do you um look at something for 33 years and then that doesn't even happen? No research is done. They don't get that done. And then based upon the whole case that happened with Tulsa, it's also been stated that in order for you to prove reparations, you have to show that you have a bloodline descendant that is indeed a slave, because that was the premise for Tulsa. You have to show bloodline descent. You have to show a connection. You have to show a relationship. You can't just merely say that I'm FBA because I'm a Negro, or I have relatives that was at that time. Because this is the thing about us. I understand there's a learning curve. These people are they're not even on the curve because they're still stuck in blackness and they don't want to get out. They don't want to get out. As a matter of fact, there was a lot of young people, and I find it more disturbing for the young people than anything. It really hurts me. There's a lot of young people saying they want us to give up our blackness, especially these indigenous people, these Indians. They want us to give up our blackness. What would they tell us about who we are? And that's true. And when I did think about what they're saying, first of all, it sounds crazy for you to hold on to blackness. But the reality is this: we are all not Indians. We're just not. Some of us are um I don't know. I mean, some of us, a very few of us will be actually African. Some of us will be uh melanated Europeans, whatever that means. Because in my opinion, the melanated Europeans, a lot of them, most of them are indigenous people who traveled and settled, and were trading with these all these other European countries. I don't they don't To me, if you look at any images of, most of them look like us. So I would say that many of the melanated Europeans are are us, but we don't know that. There's still a lot of unknown, you know. But I mean, I don't know. But basically, the thing is that the fact that they want to cling to black is just fruitless, because what they don't understand is if you get your mere $330,000, that is not going to get a lot of people anything, right? But some expensive car. First of all, if America was smart, not America, because this is not America. If the U.S. corporation was smart, they would give these FBAs or whoever, they would give all of us a check real quick. As a matter of fact, they should have done it before they started bringing all these immigrants in here. But they would have given us a check real quick, because first of all, it's gonna be the best thing the economy could ever have seen in this country, because we're gonna spend, 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 right? So I don't understand why, from a strategic standpoint, I kind of wonder how stupid the United States corporation is. Because in reality, I think it's actually a smart move to give us money. But on the downside, we are very, very smart people who are very, very creative, and we have a lot of ideas. We would have another Wall Street popping up all over the place. With that little bit of money, a lot of us could do a lot of big things, even though it's not that much. You're right. You can't even buy a decent, ooh, copper color life. You be living like that. I know how you are, girl. Go ahead. I ain't mad at you. But yeah, you're right. Copper color lifestyle says she can't even get a decent house for 330,000. Well, boo. I love it. I love it. You're right. I mean, depending on who you are, how you like to live your life, and where part of the country you live in, that's gonna give you not anything really worth anything. So you're absolutely right. And yeah, you're right. But at the same time, like I said, we're a very creative people, and that little bit of money, a lot of us could do a whole lot with it. You know, if our minds are right. I don't know if our minds are right, but I'm telling you, we're very resilient, creative, innovative people. So it could go both ways. It could backfire, yeah, and it could also just work beautifully for them, and that they have shut us up finally once and for all with a very small check,
You
and
were
then we just kind of piff that away, and it's all done.
you were
And then they could feel even more um entitled to treat us like shit because they paid their debt, so called. So really, it's really ridiculous that they don't do it. And probably me saying this, next thing you know, y'all gonna get reparation checks. I would be surprised if they be like, she said we should give, Lisa said we should give y'all we should give the Negroes some checks because it's gonna be the cheapest way we can shut them up and win and have them self destruct and everything. But it's true. I mean, sadly, it's true. And I really hate to say it like that. But as a matter of fact, y'all might get a check because of it because, they listen to Carrie and us and me. But yeah, y'all might get a check. I don't know. But hopefully it's more than 330,000. That's freaking ridiculous. But that's what I'm saying is, that would be the smartest thing they could do to deal with this. Now I really think that if we talk about reparations for real, why haven't they? Why? Because they want us gone. They don't want to give us nothing. They don't want us to give us nothing because they know that we can take nothing and make it into something. They know if they give us a little something, we could make it into everything. They know they can give us a little bit and we can make it into a whole lot. They know that about us. We've done it over and over and over and over and over again. We do it all the time. That's the way we live. So that's why they don't want to give us anything. They're trying to kill us. We're at war. See, that's the thing that people just don't realize. We're not at war, but they are warring on us, okay? We need to get in the mindset that we are at war, but they're warring on us.
this
Oh my
affiliation
gosh. Why
this
she in Oklahoma?
this
Oh,
affi-
baby, you want to get it? The tribes that help commit paper genocide against the people. Yeah, I know. I know a lot of these. Well, honey, you know what? These most of these tribes are broke, and some of them are. You're right. Some of them got lots of money, but yeah, stand in line. We got baby. The line of people that owe us is very, very, very big. Because think about it. I was just the reparations. The whole world is in a conspiracy against us. Britain, the Dutch, the French, the Scottish, the Irish, the daggone Italians, the Germans, just name it. Who did I miss out on? I think I missed the Spaniards especially. The Vatican. I mean, come on. Let's get the Vatican first. I don't want no dang them broke Native Americans. Let's go for the high rollers. Let's get the Vatican. Let's get the daggone Queen of England. Let's get that. But anyway, I mean the reality is everybody owes up because what they're doing is they're using this country as a dumping ground. And if you didn't know it, you better understand it. And like what I was thinking about with reparations, this whole thing about black people, you have to be black to get reparations. Like they want us to stay in our dead state and then they want us to take a check. And then what? Die? I mean, I know they wanted to kill us. We all know, and all of us in this chat, we all know that they didn't expect us to be around now talking like this. And the crazy thing is, more people are waking up every day, even older people. People are just waking up. They're like, oh, what the heck? Oh, wait a minute. We must have been here forever. Oh, wait a minute. We probably didn't come from Africa. Oh, what? Like all kinds of people, random people are figuring this out. They're coming to an understanding. So they didn't kill us all off. We're still here 2 years later. And now what are they gonna do with us? Now they're trying to daggone get pile in a whole bunch of unmelanated people on top of us, daggone scallywags and scavengers, into the country, spoiling the wreckage, right? They can't have it, so therefore they don't want us to have anything. They don't know that mama can do one thing mama can do. She can clean a house out. So that's not a problem. You bring all this refuse in here, I bet you they'll get the hell on when mama gets to working because that's not going to happen. When they're not going to keep a whole, oh no, no, they can go. But anyway, that's what they're trying to do. They know that their time is up. I say it time and time again. I don't see no white boys in these streets. I see very few white boys in these streets. They are not producing babies. They do not have offspring. They are old as I don't know what. They are dying off. And the people that they do have in the world, these people have deformities. They got birth defects. They got all kinds of mental illness. These are the people they're bringing into our country right now. I hope you brothers don't be looking at these damn foreign women because these people got problems. Lots of them. You probably won't, but y'all, I don't know. That's the problem. We love everybody. Remember, we were talking about how did we get here? How did we get here to this point that we are begging for reparations in our own land?
Lisa, could you explain in real simple terms what are reparations and what are they for? What are they for?
Reparations is just a plea for reparative payment for, and as far as the FBAs, I guess, are concerned, is for our building of this country and our servitude as slaves in this country. However, the reality is that there were white slaves as well. So I don't know if they've looked into that at all. They also, a lot of us were free people of color, free colored people. So, and many of us were also slave holders. So, I don't know how that factors into this whole plan either. But the fact that there is no honesty in our history and that people don't even know who they truly are makes this very, very complicated. Reparations. Reparations, in order to actually say that you are actually qualified to receive reparations, means you have to have a bloodline lineage to servitude. And then you would have to actually say, well, how much is enough? Is having one grandparent enough? Well, you have to understand this. By the time you get to actual relatives that are slaves, it's about the point in time. It depends on how. how old you are. Now, see me, I got old. I'm older, and I have very old parents. My parents were born my father was born in 1927. So I go way back faster than somebody who's a young person, maybe in their 40s or 30s now. They're not going to go back as far, as quickly. So for me to get into slavery times, I got to go to my like third great grandparent, which would mean at that point in time, I have eight grandparents. Eight grandparents. So if you don't have a father as old as mine and you don't reach slavery by the time I do, that means you're talking about maybe 16 grandparents, 32 grandparents, 64 grandparents. So how many of your 64 grandparents have to be slaves? How many of your 16 or your 32? It gets kind of complicated. And does and then you have to say, does indentured servitude count? Or does that not count? So it's just like it's a silly game. It's a silly game. We know what we need to do is be more clear on who we are. And if we know who we are, then we need to fight the fight. The real fight is to get out of slave status because right now we're in slave status.
I heard a young lady say one time, the story of slavery isn't that's what you were. The story of slavery was to make you what you are.
Whoa, and it is that's a fact.
Yeah. He
That
said
is a fact.
that's a code because I mean it's like you were saying. You said the HR 40 went on and it started in 79 or 89. And you said 33 years, within that 33 years, it was dismissed with prejudice. What do you mean by that?
Well, when you say something was dismissed with prejudice, um, that means you can't go back again. You can't come back and say, "Well, let me file this again the same way," or "Let me go ahead and file this again." You can't. It's over. It means really that it was frivolous, and really because they had no grounds, because they didn't have bloodline connection to servitude. They couldn't actually prove what they were trying to state, and that's why it really had no it can't have any bearing. They've established that to be required, right? That's a requirement. So in order for them to move forward, the people that are actually trying to get anything as far as reparations will have to meet those requirements, if that makes any sense.
So your bloodline, you have to have a bloodline lineage through slaves, right?
So like you'll have to show that you actually have to descend from people who were actually slaves. Now, for me, some people it's gonna be easy. And like a copper colored lifestyle, and with her brilliance, note said that yes, a lot of people don't even know their great grandmothers, and some people don't even know their grandmothers, right? And you're absolutely right, copper colored lifestyle. Some people don't know their great grandmothers, they don't know their grandmothers. So I mean, it's gonna be difficult. Me, I, I have a grandmother that grew up on a plantation. However, everybody in the family has first and last names that are listed in their entirety and their jobs and everything. So, were they slaves as far as chattel? That's debatable. The plantation descendants would say that they weren't. But then there are records about the plantation owner back in the 1700s, their ancestor, that said he was one of the cruelest plantation owners in Virginia.
When you talk about the bloodline lineage through slaves, you would think going that far back, those people, if it was slavery was going on like they said was, you think those people back there would leave something for their descendants and their children who are here today to find out what happened to them. I never hear many stories of that.
That's right. There's no real stories about that, and that's true. And then I see Harry Baker mentioned that his parents were born in the late 1920s, and his parents, grandparents, and they never mentioned Africa or slavery. Yeah, like even though my big mama grew up on a plantation, she never mentions anything about being a slave. That's not, they didn't use that terminology either. They worked there. They lived there. They didn't say that they were slaves. Um, or they never definitely mentioned Africa. They thought that was ridiculous. So, I mean, and then we all know that, Alex Haley was from Virginia. And he lied. That whole story he took was fictitious and plagiarized. So, I mean, how do you prove? Okay, so then you go ahead and prove your slavery, which is kind of hard to do for many of us. And like I said, there's a whole issue of all these white people faking that there's some kind of great, good, heroic people, who brave people who explored and adventured themselves into this new grand land, who actually were brought here in shackles. John Smith was brought here in shackles. He was a prisoner when he landed on the shores of Virginia. Captain John Smith, prisoner, with a chain around his neck like a dog on a collar. However, all these people that came here, most of them came because they had the choice. Hi, Moonfay. A lot of people came here because they were at the choice of the noose or the Americas. Either they was gonna get hung, or they was gonna get jailed, or they already were in jail, or they was gonna remain in jail. They wanted to empty out their jails. And quite frankly, this whole country is just a dumping ground. And the fact that we have these books that call everybody founding fathers and and colonialists, when all we have here is a bunch of rebels, a bunch of greedy rebels that came to this country. They're expats from um, from England, expats, vagabonds, and defects from England, and they had it better here than they were ever gonna have it anywhere in the world, and they didn't want to leave, so they fought to stay, and that's why we can't get rid of them to this very daggone day. People be fighting to stay here, and right now the people that they're fighting, invisibly fighting, but not so invisible if you pay attention, are us. They're fighting us to stay. And we're asking them for reparations for slavery because we think that we're just slaves. That's the main problem. Let's go to the main problem. Is that these brothers and sisters think that someone carried them here. When in reality, there is no scenario that makes that real. If you're a European and you came here as a profiteer, then your people were profiteers. That you were melanated European profiteers. If you came here and you are a if you came here and you're African, well, that's very rare. But I challenge people to find the records that verify that to be true. But that's all another thing. But the reality is that the majority of us were here already. We're here already. This is our homeland. So why? And the majority of us were thriving. We weren't walking around and like savage people, not knowing anything. We already knew English. That's that whole thing that we didn't understand English. We had interpreters. We knew different languages. We had people coming back and forth to here for thousands of years. These were not the first. First of all, think about this. John Smith nor Thomas Harris, none of those early Virginians or probably New Englanders, their accounts never said they were startled by our whiteness. They never seen a white man. None of them ever say that. None of them. We have met with many people from all over. Pirates frequented the eastern shore of Virginia. They frequented every shore of this damn country. We saw all kinds of people and we traveled ourselves. So let's get an idea of how it really was. We had a civilized society. We had towns and cities. We first have to understand the truth of this country before we understand what we need to be asking for as far as reparations. You cannot ask for something when you don't know who the heck you are. You can't make an educated inquiry when you don't know who you really are. You have to have an adequate understanding. Does that make any sense? What did copper colored historians claim? Oh, well, copper color. There's a whole, Mayan migration that had built the pyramids and stuff. But we won't get into that because that ancient history is deep and probably beyond my scope right at this moment. But yeah, no, that is what is said. Many of us are looking about like to think that there is so what is she saying? Many are reluctant, but I like to think that so many more are okay. Could you could you explain that a little more, Dr. J? Because I'm thinking I'm not. Did you get the understanding of that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, give it to me.
Many are reluctant, but I like to think that many more are okay with the reality of their existence because they don't know nothing else. They're not trying to learn nothing else. So if their existence is if their existence is get up, send the kids to school, send the kids to the same school that I was brainwashed, they just keep on doing it. They're happy with their existence because it's put to them that their existence you're living the best life. You can shop anywhere. You have grocery stores open 24/7. You can do you're living fine. You have the best health care. They tell you all this stuff like you really live in large and I mean don't know A to Z. Don't even know how to say the alphabet. So you had these people calling themselves black. What do you think that means when you talking that to other people? What do you think in the Ukraine when they say black, what are they talking about? Do you think they mean something good by it? Not just them, but anybody. Is your face the same color as your beard or your hair? You see how dumb we sound when we talk? And it's like she's saying that that's how we think that's real. We think all this stuff that we talk is real. And then if you come and say something like you've been saying tonight that makes sense, they try to bite your face off. Oh no, we black. They can't take away our blackness. Dude, you're not black. I mean, this is simple. I mean, I don't know how to make this simpler. 50 years ago, if you would have called somebody black, they would have slapped the shit out of you. It's not a term of endearment. It's not putting a crown on your head. If you had a dark cloud following you, you'd ask, "What's up?" We
Well, let
the
me let me tell you what the young folks say. Just let me tell you what they're saying in these chat rooms and these different places. They say that we've gained so much, we've accomplished so much under black. You know, the '90s and the '80s, all the best music. We black and the best television shows, black and this is their frame of reference, right? I'm just
right.
telling you. I'm telling you what they're saying.
No,
They feel like they feel like Black is where it's at. That's where we're known. People read our hip hop. That's a black thing. We did that. They see, that's the problem with us as indigenous people. We see things in snapshots of our very small frame of reference. We don't have a long scope as when we look at time, and we don't look at history in the whole daggone continuum. We look at it in snapshots. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about that for it. And this is what I mean, how we get caught up. So let's take what you just said about what the young people say. The young people say that stupid shit because the older people ain't telling them nothing. The older people are lying and then giving them more bullshit. Here's an example, and this is simple. I'm not saying nothing where you got to think about it and scratch your head and all that. This is simple. Okay, so what they're talking about hip hop. So I was like 17, 18 when hip hop came out. And I don't know the ins and outs of hip hop. I just know the music. I don't know how these people are signed or what they have to do to, have the mic in front of all these people. But what I do know is that hip hop started, where it got its big push out of New York was from this cat named Africa Bambaataa and this other cat, Kool Herc. One of them got killed, that Cain and Abel story. So Africa Bambaataa, so because hip hop is garbage now. I mean, anybody, you want to debate on it, you won't last a minute. So later, like now we're 30, 40 years down the line. So this cat, Africa Bambaataa, who started this hip hop, he's getting with little boys. He's sexing little boys. So if you look back at the history of hip hop, all of these people who've been involved in it, what's become of them? Most of them got screwed around. So when we say we got enough to be proud of, dude, your music has been taken from you, and your people who make the music don't even get paid. TLC example, people who your children fell in love with, they got screwed. And we say, well, that's our music. But somebody else is making billions off of it. We don't know that. So that's why I get what all these cats going around talking all this dumb stuff. Dude, you're just confusing the kids. You're just confusing the kids. And your ass gonna pay for that. You can't be your children. You don't even give them a chance. You tell them to call yourself that most people think is garbage. I mean, these are 60, 70 year olds are doing this today. You can't call yourself what your people call themselves. I mean, it's that simple. Yo, Lisa.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's facts. That's facts. I mean, it's a shame. Right? I think, yeah. I mean, that's also what you just said. Actually, made me feel real bad. We got some really good people in the chat making some very good statements. If you guys want to come up and say something before we come off this program, I'd love to hear from you guys because you got a real intelligent chat going on. I've noticed. Not that it's never not intelligent, but you know, I'd like to be able to benefit from it. Um, yeah, I mean, this is what you said was real. Like, where are these people that they are so ignorant that they are misleading our children, right?
On purpose.
On purpose. On, but you know what? This is the thing we have to understand. There's nothing new under the sun. So the trick of it is to stop falling for the daggone banana in the tailpipe. We cannot keep falling for the same okey doke over and over and over again. We know that there are more people that look like us that are undoing us than the so called white supremacy. That's the other thing that these FBAs like to preach a lot about: white supremacy. White supremacy. They'll say it a million times. Meanwhile, what are they but black supremacy? trying to daggone hinder and hold down and corrupt the future. They want to rise, but they don't want to see you rise. So they're going to mystify you with all these grandiose, fictitious plans that never get done. That's what they're doing to our kids. Black supremacy is the worst. The other thing that's bad is that these people keep using that term. Why would you ever call somebody supreme? That's not you.
You wouldn't.
Hello?
You wouldn't.
Why? Right? And you never really hear anybody say, "Oh no, no, don't call me a," really, because it's not really an offensive term. It's a complimentary. White supremacy? That's fire. White elite? Okay, I'll take that too. These people are criminals. They're corporate criminals. They are exterminators. They are murderers. They're everything that you can think of that's derogatory. But we're calling them white supremacists. Like I said, that's a big misnomer because most of the white supremacists sit back, set us up, and watch the black supremacists have us jumping in all different directions. They give us they give us all kinds of religions for us to run to. They give us social groups to run into. Give different kind of Indians to call ourselves. They give us Africans to daggone mix us up and actually have them acting like they're us. They give us all these different ringmasters to have us doing all kinds of tricks. That's the biggest thing that they do is set out black supremacists to daggone control us. And those are the ones we need to look out for.
And you have a history full of them, and
Not
they
even a history. We presently have them right here on YouTube. Tons of them. The majority of the people on YouTube are black supremacists. They have millions of followers who are there to just get you confused. Half of these people are misogynistic homosexuals. Yes, I said it. Misogynistic homosexuals. They hate women and they're homosexuals.
what was the term you shared earlier? Buppy?
Nope. See, you don't even know the word because you're a man, a real man, Carrie. Because real men, that's okay. I'm gonna say it because you're gonna make me go there. Y'all, Carrie's gonna make me go down the road I don't really want to go, but I'm going.
No, but
I'm,
no, but let's put in a little bit of context.
yeah. Okay. So
Okay, let me
I,
say this if you don't want to say it.
I don't really want to, but I'm not gonna say who I was listening to, but I was listening to uh, a broadcast of a people that are in the ADOS realm of reparations people, right? Broadcast, and I was listening, and this person was and not commenting about um reparations, but the person was commenting about um Josie Josie Smollett, right? And referred to him being Juicy Smollett. Had a picture of him in a jumper, orange jumper with a kufi, with a kufi, kente cloth kufi, and called him Jose X, Juicy X. He called him Juicy X, right? And also said that he's gonna go get him some boo pussy. Now, I asked Carrie before the broadcast, I said, Carrie, do you know what boo pussy is? Boo pussy. And he was like, no. What'd you say, Carrie?
No.
He said no.
You said it was
And I said and I said that's because you're a whole man. And somebody in my house thought me and Carrie was arguing. And no, I said no, we weren't. I wasn't arguing with Carrie. I was just, shouting that he's a real man, and that's why he doesn't know. But boo pussy is a term that is often used by homosexual men, and being a female, being in the presence of homosexual men or having male friends who are homosexual. I know, I've heard this, and I explained to him what it was, and it's butt pussy, and of course Carrie just went dead silent. And I said, this person uses that terminology like, shoot, just throws that around like every day, maybe 20, 30 times a day. And does it in the room with his children. You can hear children in the background and playing and all kinds of stuff and using that terminology. I'm just saying.
so
So this is the thing we have. You have to understand that person using that kind of terminology, what are you doing? What are you really doing? What does this have to do with edifying anything or building or fighting for anything? How is this going to help us move forward? What is it that we can really do? And what do the people, what is, and even, okay, I don't get it. I don't get using that or putting that kind of image in my, just the term puts a certain image in my head that I don't really want in my head. I don't want it there.
this is for the people who might say sometimes I may go off on the rails. No, it's just simple communications, and I just want to show you this what I mean. And this is from Light of Life. He
Yeah,
says
that's
people.
what it is bussy. See, I don't even know how to say it right. See, that's just great. Thank you for correcting me, Paul. See, I don't even know how to say it right. It's bussy. And it's even that's more disturbing than pussy. But it's bussy, and I'm like, pussy, really? I mean,
Yeah, but
that's
anyway,
like,
no. So let me go back
go
to the.
ahead, go ahead, go. I'm
So,
gonna shut my
so
mind.
this is what I mean about communication, guys. So this is Light of Life, and this is what he's saying, and this is what I mean. We have to understand these terms and words that we use. If we don't understand them, we're just fucking ourselves every time we open our yap. Check this out. People being called black is due to how dark our skin is. So, in communicating with this brother, the first thing I'll ask him, what does the word dark mean? And why are you referring to yourself as dark? Dark isn't a word that means, it doesn't mean anything. It puts you forward. It's just putting you, smashing your face in the ground. Dark means horrible. Dark is sinister. That's what the word means. Just look up the word. So how come we don't never look up these words? Just as and that's what I mean. They train us like dogs because we don't think. Whatever word that's given to you, that's what I is. And you won't even look up the word, the etymology of the word, how the word came through history or nothing. We just use terms other people give us because we simply won't look that shit up. Being dark brown or having skin that is so dark it appears jet black. Who do you know that has skin that's jet black? These are the words that Lisa was talking about earlier. We spell cast on ourselves. And so this is what he would get from me if I'm talking to him like this. Just imagine if this cat is talking to his children. What do you think that puts in their mind? I don't know. Nobody never told me. You see, we use words and shit. You should know this by the time you 15, 16 years old. But we don't never know. I didn't know. Jesus didn't tell me. This is how we come across. And this is how people around the world, you think When you think Ukrainians say black, and when they say it, do they say it's with turban endearment? Everybody I know that says the word black say it like they trying to smash your face in the ground when they say it. Black. It's not nothing that's a cool word to say. Number one, you're not black. That's the first thing. You never met nobody that's black. Nobody. But you keep using it, saying, oops, I forgot. I didn't know. Dude, that's menticide. That shit is menticide. I didn't know. Nobody told me. Huh? You can't look at you can't put your hand in front of your eyes and see it's not the same color as your cell phone. That's how twisted we are. That's what saying that you are foundational black America. What the hell is that? We pick up these terms, don't know what the hell we talking about. Since we don't know what we talking about, what makes you think your children gonna know what they talking about with all these immigrants coming in on their ass? I yield, Lisa.
Exactly. That is so
Finish up,
exactly
Lisa.
right.
We
Yes,
got
that
Lisa. We got a
menacide.
caller. Lisa. We got a caller. Hey,
Oh, awesome.
we're gonna
Awesome.
welcome in Scott. What's going on, Scott?
Love it.
Oh, but Scott, your device is not connected. You're gonna connect. You have to connect your mic and camera before you get in. So do that, and we'll let you right in. Yeah, man.
Menacide. That's amazing. You're right. And this is the thing. I mean, black, black. Oh, we embracing it. See, this is the thing, and this is what this brother says. See, is we love a performer. These people that they put out there as our fake leaders for now, that's in the social media. These people are charming, attractive, funny. They have all the qualities that us as indigenous people enjoy. We like an attractive, funny, smart, entertaining person with charisma. Yeah. We like when he says bussy and says stupid things. Oh, why are people talking about black? Oh, like, oh man, what's in a word? We're gonna stick with foundational black. That's what we have arrived on, and that's what we're on code with. We're walking forward with that because we are getting on code, and that's what we're on. And see, they use all this vibrato, and people like it. Meanwhile, they're not thinking for themselves. Meanwhile, they start parroting this stuff. I'm black because black is what I am. Wait a minute. Let me understand this. It's not, first of all, why are you losing? Let me tell you. Let's break down what the problem. You already broke down one reason why black is a problem. Black is a problem because, first of all, what the meaning of black is. The first problem is its meaning, right? The second problem is that it has no status. The third problem is there is no black nation. What can you do to protect or give yourself rights when you have no status, no meaning, no status, and you have no nation? So they can give you a check and then tax the hell out of it and then lock you up because you have not freed yourself. You are still under the confines of the slave status of black. Let's also put that as number 4. The real reason you don't want to be a black is the slave, is the status is slave. The status of black is slave. Slave. You
So
are the lowest, the absolute lowest on the totem pole on the planet as a black.
so who's teaching these cats?
As an African American, you are the lowest on the totem pole because they already has said that the African Americans that are immigrants are higher than your ass. That's already been established. So why, excuse me, so why are you trying to claim or proclaim yourself to be either one of those things? But they have a whole team of professional, educated, polished, Overseers, social political overseers who are leading people to proclaim this. There's young girls that sit up there and will fight you like they want to scratch you up over this black thing. They will cut you up verbally. Very, very smart, extremely articulate, but they will cut you down verbally on these apps over you trying to tell them that they are wrong about anything when it comes to black.
Their uncles, guess they would be my uncle age, that would tell you in the 1950s, if you called somebody black, you getting your ass kicked. It was a real derogatory term because those people realized back then that they were trying to erase them out. Instead of doing it quickly, they had to change it and lead you into that. Before they were calling you black with the Black Panthers and the Black Power. That's another a part in history where we made ourselves look like asses. That
Right.
that was a joke. That whole 10 years was a total embarrassment. James Brown singing "I'm Black and I'm Proud" with a perm in his head. This is how we get twisted. This is menticide. This is what's put on you. I know you love it. I know you love James Brown. I'm saying what he was paid to do, to teach your kids to be like that, to be confused. And many of you today still love that. Huh? So, how do you think that all these foreigners have beauty supply places in your neighborhood? Why do you have beauty supply places in your neighborhood? Because you think you're ugly. That's the only reason. We won't even talk about it. This is
Well,
what
I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to say this. Why don't we own them? The other thing I will say is this. Why are we busy worrying about somebody giving us a check when we got enough to do what we need to do anyway, actually? I mean, really.
men
First, some things that we can change within our own reach. We already talked about the fact that we could all be opening up charter schools. Charter schools, we got people coming from Turkey, people coming from the Ukraine, people coming from Afghanistan, getting government money to open up these charter schools. And we can't do them. Are you kidding me? Most of us are teachers and have teachers all throughout our families. And that's all it would take. It don't take nothing. You know how quick you teachers write up papers and shit. Y'all write up papers quick as I don't know what. So it would take nothing for you all to get daggone yourself granted a daggone charter school and money for it. The other thing is, why are we not regulating our neighborhoods? Can we not go into these liquor stores and say, get this gut liquor out out your daggone store? Don't you sell this to, and I need some indigenous people's products in here. I need me some of that daggone, what is it? Uncle Nearest on the damn shelves. Fully stocked. I want tons of that. Get rid of all this other stuff.
could you
You can take, why can't you? You are making them money. We need to start being the leaders in our community. Indigenous people need to start taking the lead. We need to go in these grocery stores and say, get this crap out of here. This non-food from I don't know what country this stuff is from. Get it out. You're not gonna kill my people with this trifling food. It's not right.
or would it be easier, like you say, do it yourself? Have your own have your
Well,
own
I mean, yeah, one step at a time. But there's various routes to empowerment. I got eggs. I can start selling eggs. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, there's many steps to empower. You got a garden, you start selling. Yeah, or you seek out your indigenous people because they got indigenous growers that will actually deliver baskets of produce. Here in Atlanta, they got people that's a co-op. They'll deliver you a box of damn fruit and vegetables. You can order from them. There's an app that's like a black. Well, Lord goes that black name again. A black app that shows you how to buy black. It will tell you where there's people in different areas of town or different different locations where you can get products from your people. But yeah, there's many routes to for us to get to self empowerment. There's
So
many routes to it, but you have to take real steps. And one powerful way is to not take on names that demean you and give them names that elevate them. What insane person calls yourself black and then calls somebody else a white supremacist in the same damn breath?
I
Does that
don't
make
know.
sense? They're not supreme. Why would you call somebody a white supremacist? What? They're not supreme. They're insecure. They're desperados. They're anything but supreme. They are desperate, greedy people. And the people that are the black, daggone supremacists, are desperate, greedy people. They are desperate to maintain their fake status and desperate to keep you where you are because they feel their success depends on keeping you oppressed. And that's what their daggone white counterparts tell them. And that's how we got undone out of this country to begin with. It was people that looked like us that took everything from us and gave it to them. And they're doing it right now. James Brown went in and was hugging and kissing on Nixon. What are we doing? What are we doing?
Menticide.
Garvey was daggone, what was he? Kissing on daggone Plecker, Walter Plecker. That's what we have. How many times in history does this have to replicate itself until we understand that we have to look towards those that are closest to us to be the ones that are doing the undoing of our youth? They put our kids in jail over this daggone civil rights, and all civil rights did was destroy what was left of our independence. They took our babies and made them risk their lives and lose their lives over something that just kept them rich. And now, even to this day, Martin Luther King, daggone Jesse Jackson, all their families are rich for the next generations and ongoing. They shouldn't be rich. Why are they rich, y'all? Have you thought about it? They didn't build any industries. They don't have movie theaters or radio stations. They don't have publishing companies. They don't build cars. Why is Jesse so rich? Why are so many people rich for no reason?
Jesse,
They
Jesse,
because they sold your parents and they sold your families out and they sold you out. These people are being paid to sell us out. Recognize them when they see them and teach your kids. That's the most important thing. Take this information and share it with your kids and your kin because we can't afford to be dumb. We can't afford to be blind any longer.
not another second. But hey, you know how Jesse Jackson got rich, right? He got Michael Jackson glove.
You know, I,
I'm
I
serious.
can't, you know what? I can't even breathe.
I mean, but that I mean, isn't that where the son got caught up from? Using the people's money to buy stuff like that. This is how we do. And this is supposed to be a leader, at least of the civil rights generation. So you see what he passed down to his son. So this is what I mean, how when we pass stupid shit down to our children, this is how it turns out. We always on some entertainment, the radio, going to work, the car radio. Do you listen to the talk shows on the Negro radio stations in the morning?
I try not to. As soon as this that demic had started, and I saw how much they were pushing. First of all, that we were gonna die, And then they were pushing that we need to take a jab. I was like, and then I turned to the country station because I listen to all kinds of music, and it was nothing about that. And then I went to the rock station, and there was not a daggone mention of taking a nothing, no jab or nothing ever. I was like, I'm not listening to no more urban nothing. If it has anything to do with black or urban, I ain't listening to it. Pop didn't even talk about that stuff.
I that what is it? Is it called urban radio?
Yeah, they call it urban,
Okay.
urban hip hop, urban and R and
So
B, urban hip hop and R&B.
so when I was growing up, in the morning is when your brain is supposed to get all the information you can take in, so you know you can think about it through the day. If you listen to urban radio, Step and Fetch It ain't got nothing on these shines. It's that bad. Just yuck, yuck, yuck. Nothing's funny. They always got to put the guy that wants to be a girl in there. Every show has that. Nothing to give these children, nothing to shine light on them. And this is what we yuck, yuck. For real? This is what we give our children in the morning. And you think somebody's gonna give you reparations? For real, cuz?
Right, right. But like I said, you know, y'all, government officials that are listening, if you are, if you're smart, then you would give these daggone these jive people some daggone reparations because first of all, hey, a little bit of money can go a long way. It'll boost the economy like nobody. And I know. Okay, I understand. That's not the goal right now because y'all know they trying to tumble the economy. They're trying to change. They're trying to destroy the dollar's already destroyed. It ain't nothing. They trying to change us, get us off this dollars, and change our currency so we'll be broke as hell and we won't have anything. They're trying to economically cripple us. Now, what? First of all, I would admonish the daggone U.S. corporation that first of all, we are indestructible. Like, and let's be real. All you've done by doing all this, now that you've created a super race of indigenous people who are super smart, who know exactly what the hell you're doing pretty much before you're doing it. And we can withstand bad poison water, poison food, poison air, radiation, and your diseases. So what the hell do you think you're going to do? Like, you think we can't figure out how to make it? You don't think we're not survivalists? Boom. We're part of this soil. You think I can't get in this soil and make something grow like out of nothing? You think I can't find a tree, a shrub, a piece a weed that is edible and make something fly out of it? You think I can't make some good old greens out of some daggone dandelion? Please, white people, you make everything harder. We make everything easier. If you think that by destroying the dollar and economically crushing us in this country, that that's gonna be in the end of the indigenous people, you dumb. You're dumb. It ain't gonna happen. So I really suggest that you might just wanna give give these folks the daggone reparations. Cut a check. And it's not because I'm like, oh, everybody needs a check. I mean, I believe you need we deserve. You could never. You just got to get out and give up everything and leave it right where you found it. That's what you really need to do. But the reality is, pay a check and it'll be a lot less headache. And you know us, we get real appeased real easy. We get real distracted and appeased. It would be the smartest thing for you to do because we get really appeased and distracted, with money and stuff to buy, play with. You know, it would be actually be the wisest of your courses. Destroying the economy and bringing us to financial ruin is a mistake because really, you guys are not as resilient as we are. And you guys are really more fearful than we are. Although we get scared when you go in the news and go boogada 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 disease, you get scared. You're scared of everything. You really are. And we're used to hard times and recovering. See, y'all might go ahead and put yourself into a wilderness situation for fun, right? Or put yourself into a stranger situation for fun. But as the people we are, as the indigenous people, we're put into unknown situations all the time where we don't know whether you're going to act right one day or the next. We don't know if we're going to be able to win this day to the next. We don't know whether we're going to actually get through this damn traffic stop or not. We go through all kinds of stressful situations put upon by your daggone racist tactics every day. So we are ready for fight. You're not, because you're not stressed upon like we are. You don't have that muscle toned, boo. So if you're gonna put some kind of collapse into the system and you think the fallout ain't gonna hit your weak ass first, you're wrong. So I suggest that the smarter thing that you could do is probably just give some people some money and let them just overdo themselves until they're gone oblivion. They won't have anything to complain about anymore, and a lot of people just gonna fall asleep. Now, I will let you know that many of us are still gonna be on the march. We're gonna get our stuff back, so that's not gonna stop. But you're just gonna have to understand that you're just gonna lose in that count. Just go ahead and get yourself ready to give up on that. But it will be much better than this dumb plan you have with all these immigrants coming in here that are disgusting and diseased and criminal and trying to destroy the whole economy. That idea is for shit. That needs to go away. But anyway, yeah, reparations. Yeah, who's in here? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get off the let me get off the mic.
All right, here we go. Hey, we welcome Scott. Scott, where you calling from, Scott?
Hey, y'all, brother, Indigenous One, and everybody on the panel, and everybody in the chat. Hey, my name is Scott, and I'm calling them from Illinois, Chicago. And Ed, you don't know that you be talking to my daughter sometime, Frida Moore.
Oh, okay, yeah, Frida. Yes.
Yeah, I'm her father. So
What's how?
I'm not too much a stranger to your channel, but I just don't come up.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks, brother. What's on your mind this evening?
Well, I see y'all have this discussion about this word black,
Yeah.
and it's great appreciate it and great need and his definite need to be out here again. And I hope I'm in the right conversation here. What I'm gonna say about this word black.
Okay.
So okay. So if we, like I tell the young fellas, that we shouldn't use the term black because black it was labeled that our people labeled those peoples over there that you call them white today was black. Anyway, if people study their history and go into 1492, they had their so-called identity chart for our people, labeled them from what Indian first, colored, a Negro next, 1492, that chart. Okay, but anyway, they were identifying our people as Indian. And then if you bring them up to 1871, when they changed into the corporation, the United States Corporation, during that time when they was petition the United States Corporation to be given a constitution for their corporation, and as well in that petition to Congress, they told their Slavic slaves that if you identify with this word white and come over here in America and take these people's identity, because we don't kill a whole portion of them peoples off, though Indians off on this landmass that's called America, and we'll give you the status of white. and you're going to work hard against those Indians, and we don't push this black on them. This happened in 1871 when they were setting up the corporation. So those people petitioned Congress and they passed that bill to allow those people to come in here and work against us and push us into a static mode of black Negroes and stuff like that. And then you bring them up again in 1960 something when Martin Luther King was pushing this stuff. You know, they are working hard to get the so-called black folks behind Martin Luther King for to pass a bill for the keep continue to put us in the back seat. And so those pale people can get more benefits and take away from the so-called some now they label black now, the Indian, because during this so-called 1871, it's also set up that they put a restriction and penalties on our people that when they are identifying themselves as Indians, that you cannot identify yourself any longer calling yourself an Indian or not telling your children or teaching them that you is the house of and you cannot say you are any longer. And then that's what they did in the 1871. And they'd say, okay, there's gonna be a fine, and then in most likely imprisonment as well if you start doing this, identifying yourself as Indian and teaching your children of they are Indians. And don't call your surname as well. And therefore our people were getting lynched on those things when they were teaching our people that they are children. And then there's a whole lot of massacre came in on that black word. Cause anytime a group of people, them white folks, you call white, was trying to take the shackles off of them as black, cause you know, black on this earth, it stands for death. And if they didn't want it, cause they'll massacre those peoples all over the place on this earth when they identifying them as black. That's why they signed the contract and take that labor off of them and give it to the Indian that call themselves and identify themselves as black. That's why all this massacre going on this earth today against the so-called Negroes of today in America, because they identify with that word black. Now, anybody that our ancestors labeled as black, and they wanted, they made a order, and they set it in law, and say we're going to allow you to call yourself white now, and we don't force it black on people that never heard no word black before. And I tell young people, you're not black, cause anybody got common sense. You can look at a tie, it's black, and you look at your skin, you is tone, you is tan or brown. Now I don't understand this. These guys over here pushing that stuff, and I told them when I used to go on the AP channel that we anyway last year. I mean, it's so hard. We were telling these Pan Africans and stuff, and all these other Mongoloids out here that we not black, and just in 3 months he don't change. So I ain't been on his channel, but my daughter have, and she bust their ass out a few days ago. I was like, I gave her kudos to her, cause these motherfuckers is crazy now. You cause black, I'm like, what in the fuck you on? You know black stand for? Black mean, I'm like, if these motherfuckers telling the people like they saying they doing so much, they care for their people, and they so much trying to get on the code. I'm like, okay. I told my daughter, what is this motherfucker shit? Cause I would ask these motherfuckers, I challenge people. They don't want nobody like me come up on their panel and challenge their ass. Cause I ask, what does this code mean? Cause I remember when they were scribing this book called The Black Law. Now, anyway, on that first page, when you turn the hard copy on the Black Law book, and they printed it, they had the thing said, this fucking book is a code for black, the black code. This shit is in bold letter. It got code. I say these what these motherfuckers advocating. They pushing this shit on the people that don't know what they fucking get on code. You not you dividing the people. Well, when you took that contract, you divided the people. Then you sealed their fate. Cause black mean you was fucking standing at your grave. And all they have to do is hit you side their fucking head and you down in your grave. Cause that's what they don't let these people that accepting this shit, and I can't believe these motherfuckers that with them know this shit. Black is detrimental to their fucking left. They help their whole life. I mean, you selling these people out no more than Martin Luther King did and all the other boule niggas. You still you got a lot of people around here today started saying this stuff. Black is never in history. I ask anybody. If you study real history and go and do your research on it, you'll see this shit. Black will never become compatible of receiving anything. Reparation is shit. I'm like, what is a $300,000 or whatever it is? And you don't reparation, you don't get reparation, you don't get shit. You don't say nothing about restitution. You don't tell the people that black is dead because you just fucking just walk to your grave. Their whole setting right there. That's where they don't let them right there. When they fucking advocating with this shit. And all the people have to do is come up and hit them side the fucking head. They ain't in the black law book. It tells you this shit. And then he goes on and told my daughter that they don't go with the black law no more. Well, wait a minute. Well, when you fucking say be on code, that fucking word come from the black law. It's a code for niggas, for the black niggas. That's what this black law book is for. So in the black law book, it say your ass is dead in the eyes of the law. They don't recognize your ass, and your justice is in the middle of the sea. And you'll never get it. In Reparation, you don't get that neither. And I hope this shit fall real quick. And I told my daughter, don't worry about them stupid ass motherfuckers. And it just fucked up when the young people, these motherfucking old people, it's a lot of their fault. See, I'm like, I'm 60 fucking 1 years old in a few months. And I tell them all the time, because using the goddamn term with all this other shit. And when I remember, I tell my daughter all the time, I say, when I was young, my uncle, my granddaddy, my uncles,
Do
my
we still have
mama,
sound or am I off of it?
pardon me, can y'all hear
No.
me?
Yes.
But my uncle, when I was coming up, my uncle, my granddaddy, when a motherfucker tried to label them as black, you know what happened to these people? I'm like, this here shit is real. They cut these motherfucking heads off. Sorry if I'm using too much foul language.
No, so this is free speech here.
They literally cut their fucking heads off using that term black because they know what black really meant. Did she drop off?
Oh, she'll be back.
Yeah, them turn black is no good for our people, and they don't know what they're getting themselves in. They selling these people that pushing that shit. They don't get paid. I know Tariq don't get paid already. I'm just wondering when AP on got his check. If you ain't got it yet, you show working hard for it. Cause anybody else that hook their chain to these motherfuckers that know what I'm talking about, that law in the fucking law and anyway in the constitution, cause you ain't telling the people how to really talk. I'm teaching the people. How you teaching the people? You don't have to use that damn black term called black is dead, because when you're teaching the people, you'll say, hey, get away from that word black. Now if you is the Indians, and the Indians, you gonna fucking go with this, you're gonna go with the organic constitution, you're gonna look at the you're gonna look at the flag, damn it, the Confederate flag. You don't look at that Confederate flag, the Constitution, and the treaties, and that's how you don't teach the people how to fucking liberate themselves out of this fucking system. But they ain't teaching this shit, and they know it is. But yet again, they looking for a fucking fiat. They don't fucking care. These people is they just taking the people to their fucking primrose lane. They standing at their grave site and they don't know it. That's why these motherfuckers pay up people's always running around here shooting them. And they wanted to talk about, I'm a sue you. You can't sue no motherfucker and get no liberation, or you might get a regress. You can't get regress. You can't get nothing when they using. You say you already dead. You subscribe to dead, so they don't care. They don't get it. I hope I ain't over talking here.
Well, brother, I just want to say thank you. You shared a lot with us tonight. And hey, brother, come and speak to us some more, man. We're gonna hit the next caller and keep it moving. Brother.
Yeah, go ahead. I can stay, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, you can stay.
Oh, okay. Go. I'm on silent. Okay.
Oh, cool. Hey, JM Hotel, what's up, homie?
Jolito,
What's going
Jose,
on? What's going
Can
on?
you hear me, brother? Can you
Huh?
hear me?
Yes,
Can
sir.
you hear me? Peace, family. How you doing? It's been a minute. I'm having a problem getting on and the chat and all this stuff. Like I'm being blocked and this and that. So that's my predicament that's going on. I don't think, my opinion, that we're taking advantage of the things that we should be taking advantage of. You know, and I think one of the main things that we should be taking advantage of is the media. The media started our demise, and we are not fighting back through the media to correct it. And I think that that's what we should do. Everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's a subscriber, everybody that's on these other platforms who know who we are and what we should be doing and what we want should be out there screaming to the mountaintop, and we're not taking advantage of that. You know, I mean, Brother Malcolm said that the media can make either they can make people love us or hate us. But unfortunately, they decided to make people hate us. And being that we know that, what are we going to do about it? So we have to start doing things like Kerry, Empress Lisa, and a lot of people are doing things. But the people in the chat and whatnot, we have to start doing things. We have to use that social media. You could be on a Facebook posting every day, all day about what you're talking about. And we should be doing that, flooding them with the information, so that's all they see, you know, and we see how it goes because it was happening at one time. And now I don't see hardly nobody doing it,
You know
you
why?
know.
Because they shut everybody down, man. The like even I'm actively suing for my land against PNC Bank in
Yeah,
Northampton County. Unprecedented, hasn't been done before. My indigenous people's land, African land, and I can't get the story out. Like I can get it out when they want to get it out locally.
I
um
hear you.
it's shut down. And then like if you and a lot of times like when when I post a lot, and I mean it's not say anything. My sister, she'll post something and it's not even anything. She'll say something or say something that's dumb, or she'll get in jail for like 3 days or whatever. People, when they know that you are do right now, things are real hot. They
Mm-hmm.
know that we're waking up. So if you're an active person and you're really doing stuff, they're gonna shut you down
Oh
for
yeah,
nothing, just because they know what you're really doing in real life. Now these fraudulent people, they'll let these fake Africans pretending to be chiefs and stuff. They'll let them on all day, twice a day, every day,
true
and
that.
that's how you know that they mean you no good. If you can see them twice a day, every day at a certain time, all week long, you know these people are fraudulent. Because when you're really doing real things to try to really wake people and do things in the community, they ain't gonna let you on like that. And that's just the fact. I'm sorry, I'm gonna close my mic.
Yeah, understood. But some people are not shut down, so let them try. I know they do that because they've done it to me. So that's why I say a lot of times I can't get on the show. I can't comment because I can't even get in the chat because it doesn't allow me to. So I'm saying, okay, but I just want you to know I'm still here. Gonna keep on kicking it till it's over.
Cool, brother. Well, please don't be no stranger, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Peace, family.
Peace.
Hey, can I say something?
Yes.
Okay, what for the panel again? You may, if the chat is probably want to be curious to look into and do in the near shorter future. What if we just learn how to start writing the affidavits up against these people? I think that's a strong, powerful uh, uh, document when you write the affidavits against these people. And you might send it to the media and everything. All these things. Send it
Well,
to our governor and all these that about these things that we need that correct in our communities and stuff. In whatever, and in the political form as well. So they don't. Why they don't teach that? That they bully niggas or whoever they leading think they smart peoples and stuff. Why they don't teach that? How you gonna get stuff done in your community? Write affidavits up. Teach the people how to write affidavits up. This I don't understand. This stuff is real
There's a,
simple.
well, there's a lot of things we could do to get remedy if we weren't running around believing people that are talking about boosies and things they shouldn't be talking about, and talking about people being black and yelling white supremacy 2,700 times a day. Yeah, we could get a whole lot of things done. And some of it won't require, some won't require doing affidavits, but some of them will just be about using just emails to contact congressmen, governors, mayors, president. You know, we have in our phones. We have the ability to reach out to so many different people. So yeah, we have a lot of different mechanisms. I'm not going to say that. Yeah, of course, like I'm always working. I'm always trying different methods to get information out there, to the public. But like I said, a lot of times it's the ones that are really working they have their voices are being silenced, so you don't hear about our stories. But the ones that are out there doing nothing but flim flamming you, they're all over your media, they're all over your social media, they got everybody listening to them, and they're all over the place saying nothing but keeping you in a daggone hamster wheel, not going anywhere. Sorry, close my mic.
What's your name again, sister?
My
I
name's
don't
Lisa.
Lisa. I'll say Sky's my
Yeah.
name. But anyway, you saying you say I know I know I see what you're saying. Anyway, doing what you're saying on through the emails and stuff. But would it be formable if we write this stuff physically with your own handwriting and stuff, with the signature and stuff on it, with form of affidavit? You don't think that's powerful enough and send it to all these people?
Well, I mean, this is the thing. I use affidavits to, with my Accomack Indian and myself, my kin, to declare who we are as far as being Accomack Indians. So I have an Accomack Indian that's written out that it actually declares who I am, what the U.S. has done, what our rights are, and it changes it changes our status from being African American, black, or what have you, to being the Accomack Indians that we are. This can be done by anybody who knows their real lineage. I am more than happy to help anyone if they need help with an affidavit that does that. That's the kind of affidavit I use. And then you can send it to all your congressmen, all your government leaders. I have a method, I have a system for doing that. I have I don't just talk. I got methods. I try to get solutions and offer solutions. My affidavit has been shared to many people. A lot of people are doing a lot of fake fraudulent things with my affidavit to this day. But I really want it to go to people that are genuine and have done their research and are actually repatriating their real people. That's the purpose of my affidavit. Is not for just for like fake stuff or pretend stuff, or it's for real people that are trying to repatriate. That means you know who you are, you know the Indians you come from, you're going to claim them as your people. You are saying I am, you know a whatever, um I don't know, a, a Caddo Indian in Texas or whatever. I'm a Caddo, and so I'm going to claim I'm a Caddo, and I'm a, whatever, something, a Chichamakadu, and this is where our homeland is, and blah blah blah. This is our history, and then your affidavit will state I was misclassified as whatever. That's the kind of stuff that I want to do. I want to help people who are really have done their genealogy, can claim that they're whatever Indians, Caddo Indians, or Amaroos, or Alabamus, or whatever they are. These different specific people that your actual family can be linked to without a doubt, and help you actually get your freedom. That's what I want. That's what well, not saying I want to do. That's what I can do. I just haven't found any genuine people that are doing real stuff. But if you're real doing real stuff and you want to really get out, really get free and actually claim your real status, then you got to get to work. And I'm a resource out there. I'm like, my paperwork's out there. Probably people are charging you. Probably there are people out there charging you for paperwork that I would give you for free because they got it from me for free. But that's just what's going on today. You got a lot of people that are real, fugazi out there. But yeah, affidavits are very good for that and for, actually getting your identity, getting yourself free from this system of being a black and African American. That's what affidavits are good for. As far as proclaiming things or filing suit. Some things you just gotta sue. You gotta sue them for, and that's possible too. You can sue. You can sue people by yourself. That's what I'm doing right now. So that's also possible. People like Amani Bay are very good at teaching you how to go through the steps of getting that done. I'm just saying, where there are solutions out there. We here are Carrie Davis. He is not trying to keep any solutions from you. He's always about solutions. We here, we're not trying to, you know, to finesse you. We're not trying to get likes. We're giving you, we got real solutions, real criticisms, but we also follow up with real solutions. And we do it without asking you to daggone do something. You never hear him asking you to like, share, subscribe when y'all really need to be like, sharing, and subscribing. Don't nobody ever ask you. He don't ask you for no donations when all y'all really should be donating because what we're doing here is real. You got a real resource right here with Carrie Davis that you're not going to get any other place. I close my mic.
Yeah, I thank you that, Sister Lisa. What I need, because I haven't made my journey as far as yours, and I'm like getting what off somewhat. I'm still on the ground level, and now on that, if you can maybe send me your stuff, what I might need, like your affidavit for, cause that's a confusion right there, when people don't know how to do the paperwork correctly and what they might need to, and who they need to address. And I think that might be where I'm at there. And and another question is, okay, like for people like these people out here misleading the people, is there any way that somehow or another you can like put a halt to these people? Maybe use a form like uh cease and desist.
No, I think the people who they talk, see, the problem with those people are the people who they're talking to, they don't think. So when these cats are telling you there are more and they come from some way, the first thing should come to our mind what is, I mean, and this is what I mean. This shit is simple, y'all. Because you would ask the person next door this question, and they've been living next to you for 40 years. If a let's take the Moors for instance. Wouldn't it be simple for us to say, well, how come this stuff doesn't work in Morocco? And then watch the expression on their face. They can just come tell you anything and you
Hmm.
believe it. You don't even, you just, oh my God, I just wet myself. Dude, you having all these people always come over here telling you this dumb shit and you just believe it. You don't even question it. You just believe it. Christians, Muslims, everything else. Anybody can come over here and tell you anything, but since you don't know nothing about yourself, and that's the majority of so-called African Americans, anything somebody, it don't matter how dumb it sounds. It's like the cat was just talking about this bussy thing. You really think 14 and 15-year-olds need to be hearing that type of language when what is happening to us is happening to us? No, you got to check these. You can't be dumb. And we think just being dumb is okay. Well, I can be dumb if I want to. You don't tell me what to. We think it's cool. So I'm just saying, when these people come talking to you, ask them what they are talking about, and you will soon see they don't even know what the hell they talking about. They're just telling you, hoping you're stupid, and they're getting a lot of us with that shit. Come
and
on,
it,
y'all.
and don't question my motive. What I say. But yet again, don't you get what they doing there? And then they what they put it take the heat off of them, like they like unlike that Martin Luther King them didn't do. They saying, well, he ain't no leader over here. Well, who the motherfucker doing all the speaking and pushing it? My, I'm Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there. Cause I'm texting you, Lisa, in the back.
No problem. But yeah, no, you can keep going. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, like I said, I remember when I was coming up, my uncles, my granddad, and my dad and them, they didn't take that shit about no black stuff. They did it. They barely did let you slide with nigga, but that black, they literally kill people with over that stuff. And then they wrote in laws on this stuff to take you away from the word Indian and also your surname, how you should really identify yourself. And they put it in, and they put it in law. And that's why the black code, that's where the black law book come in right there. And they talking about get on code. Well, get on code calling yourself black? No, no, cause my ancestor died for it. That word that they fought it for to keep that Indian identity. Anyway, we know it. They weren't identifying themselves before 1492 as Indian
Yes,
because
yes.
because they were going under their house. Cause your mother give you birth, your nation started right there, right? So they'll identify what your surname was. So since the people wanted our own people that wanted to conquer their own peoples and take over like they got now, and they wanted to separate you from your knowledge and your inheritance and all these things, so they can usurp you and trick you as they kill you out the land slowly and surely. So
Yeah, we got a lot of battling to do as far as trying to change that connotation, and we can do it. We can definitely do it. We just have to stay full court press on a lot of these medias and to make that change because it could be done. So like I said before, the media is the reason why, excuse me, we're all messed up with it when it comes to that. Because they've been blocking us and putting out hate. At one point, remember they were saying black ice. You know, they were because that was telling you right there. Oh, don't go out. It's too cold. Like up in New York here, they would say like black ice. Be careful of the black ice. So they're letting you know that's a bad thing. But they put a lot of stuff out there that's negative towards us. Just to see how we're going to respond. In most cases, we don't respond. We just let it ride. We just let it ride. And our politicians are to blame for all this BS that's going on out here because
No,
they
so
able.
the politicians aren't to blame because you vote for the politicians. See,
Yeah,
this
if you vote for them. If you vote for them. Myself, no. No,
no, no.
no, no.
I'm just saying that this whole and see, this is what I mean. When you're calling yourself, we got about at least 100 different names that we
Yes.
refer.
True that. Yes.
We got at least 100 different terms that we described ourselves with, and this another uh, Ukrainians are not going to come over here and assist you. All
Got
these
that.
people, all these people aren't here to assist you. They're here to take your stuff. They're here to take what your grandmom and granddaddy left for you. And we walking around here dumb on purpose. Because if you just think of these simple things, it don't have to be this way.
There you
It
go.
don't have to be this way. So, a lot of times we say we, I don't say that because we ain't doing nothing. We just playing around.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna? So if we're getting out of this is something we're gonna have to fix ourselves. Nobody's gonna help you. Nobody's gonna give you no money to get out of your position. You're gonna have to look at it for yourself. And why are you here? Why were your people? What did your people do? Who are you? And most of
Yes.
us, yeah, we call ourselves a dog, and we do
yeah,
that.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. 1,000%. I teach my grandkids, start figuring out what you're going to do. You have to work for yourself. You don't have to depend on nobody, going to universities to look to get a job so you can be fired. No, start creating your own. Start now what you're going to be doing. So you're going to have to be, so you can be independent and not having to worry about ever being fired. Create your own because a lot of people that's coming in now, I tell them, I said, you see all these foreign people that's coming, I tell them, You see all these, they all opening their own businesses, and they can't be fired. They're not looking for somebody to support them or feed them, but us. But I'm saying we need to do the same thing. We need to have our own, so we don't have to go to beg Mr. Charlie, so-called, for a job or worry about being unemployed. And they see it. They're seeing it. And I got 6 grandkids, and I'm just letting them know, because when I'm not here no more, they're gonna say, Grandpa was telling us. Grandpa was telling us. So I'm putting it in them constantly.
Well,
And
cool.
that's how they're gonna take, hold to it, because I had a grandmother that told me that I was an Indian, that we were Indians, but I just laughed it off because that was like 1970. And I went down there with a dashiki on, and she said, what's that you got on? I told her that. I said, we from Africa, Mom. She said, you ain't no African. She said, you ain't no African. I said, you ain't never been no slave. And I said, what? And she showed me the land. And this is down in Prentice, Mississippi. She showed me the land, 38 acres. And to me, that was a lot of clear space that I saw. And I'm saying, wow. And she said, we ain't never been no slaves. I don't know nothing about no slavery. And my grandmother was born 1900. So I remember my great grandmother too. So I'm telling you, that's when I started really thinking about it, but I had put it on the back of my mind until I seen Kerry Davis, his brother. I seen him on YouTube about maybe 2 years ago. And I said, wow, he's talking about the same thing my grandmother told me. And then I started running into other people on YouTube. But Kerry was one of the first ones that I've seen on YouTube. And I said, wow, I like what this brother is doing. He's preaching the truth. And we need to be doing the same thing because he knows who he is. He's informing people who he is and who we are. And we got to get busy. And I appreciate you, Carrie, Lisa, for everything that y'all do. I truly do. My family does. I thank y'all.
Thank you too, brother. All right, man. You have a good weekend. All right,
You
you
too.
guys, we coming to the top of the hour. So Lisa, you want to close it down?
Am I still here? I don't know if I'm here.
You're here.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Jim. Well, I don't want to close the deal. I know you need to go to bed. So,
No, I don't have to go to bed.
well, it's late. It's late. So, no, we'll let it go. I don't know. How's the chat?
The chat is kick ass like always.
I know the chat's on fire. That's the only thing. But yeah, and Scott and Jim, they're on fire. Can we go a little bit longer? Maybe 30 minutes?
Maybe, yes.
All right, let's do this. Let's go a little longer. All right. Can you post the link in there in case somebody wants to talk? Because we do have some real cool people in the chat.
Yes.
We even got Rebel in the chat.
Oh, wouldn't it
Yes.
wouldn't it be nice if Rebel came in?
I know. I see her in the chat.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, we can go a little longer. Because you know what? Let me tell you, this thing with these children being taught about black and FBA and hoping for a check so they can go to school or pay their student. These people are pimping our children bad. It's abuse. It really is abuse of the young. And we need to see it for what it is. It's happened time and time again. We've seen it using our the dead. They use the dead body of a child to start this whole civil rights thing off. These daggone boule are not afraid to do anything against us to keep us in our place so they can stay on top. You have to understand that. You have to understand that. So we have to be alert. We have to understand when it's not sounding right, it's not right.
You could feel it.
You can feel it. And it shouldn't feel right to hear somebody talk about white supremacy, boosie, boosie, all kinds of crazy stuff, and you don't feel like it doesn't register to you that this person is not right. I don't care. They're not right. Yeah, they're charming. Yeah, they're amusing, entertaining, but they don't know what they're talking about. And they're just distracting you and leading you astray. But most importantly, they're leading our youth astray. That is the most heartbreaking thing because they're at the point in their lives where they're getting their mind entrenched. The people that are the baby boomers that are all stuck on stupid today, they got their minds stuck in their 20s and their teens, and they're still there. So what happens to these kids that makes them think about black, 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 and black, and I need to beg for the reparations. Oh, please, Massa, Massa, please. When you are the landlords. You don't have to beg for anything.
Damn. That's
Can I
true.
say it again? You are the landlords. You don't have to beg for anything. This is yours. You got to get yourself together, dust yourself off, get down into your ancestors, talk to them, get all their names in a row, figure out what they called themselves, and claim who you are and get your stuff. That's all you got to do. And I know what I'm making it sound it's a lot. I know it's not. It is. I mean, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You know what I'm saying? If I can work it, you can work it. I ain't no rocket scientist. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So, I mean, you can do this. You have to do this is what's important because we need to be able to give to our great, even beyond our lifetime, our lifespans. We need to provide for us like was provided for us because y'all got stuff out there. Y'all got oil wells and y'all got mineral wells and mineral mines and all kinds of copper and iron and freaking you got gold and you don't know what you have because you haven't reached back, but your ancestors secured the bag for you, just like mine did for me. But you got probably more than I got because I ain't got all that. But they actually went to court and fought for land in 1674. And let me tell you, if Indians were in court in 1674 trying to stop these daggone foreigners from encroaching on their land, that we wasn't living in no long houses in the dirt thinking like that. I can tell you that.
Yeah. So that
So this is the thing. You are the landlords. This dirt, the sand, the trees, the pine straw, these are all the different shades of us. You blend with this earth. Whatever is here, this is yours. You are the most powerful here. You are in sync with this daggone soil and this daggone this planet as a whole, but especially here in America. So you need to go ahead and get what's yours. And you ain't got to beg nobody. You know what? Guess what, y'all? As long as you begging, you let them know you don't know who you are. And you let them know that they're on top. When you start claiming, when you start demanding, when you start declaring, that's a whole different energy. That's a whole different energy.
one thing I want to share with everybody, the 100 people that are here, I want you to look up this term and check it out and see if this didn't happen to you. Look up a term called the dead baby scam. I'll say it one more time. This is very important. Look up something called the dead baby scam, and you're going to see how a lot of you was just wiped out soon as you got here. And so when we start picking up these terms, what these other clowns be putting out, it just puts us in a whole nother atmosphere.
Why don't you tell us about it, Carrie.
The
Tell
dead
us.
baby, and this is it simply. And look it up if you think I'm lying, or or use your think about it. A dead baby scam is when you're born and your placenta, they say the placenta is you and you died. And they flip you over to the corporation that you are, because you are a part of a corporation. You do know that about yourself. An African American isn't a person. There isn't a place where African Americans come from. It's just it's like a doll. It's like a coat you put on. It's nothing. There's no such thing as an African American. Where they come from, they don't know. You ask them to explain how they're African. I don't know. They don't know. Never one thing is sure about an African American. They never know nothing. So what they do, because you don't know anything, you don't know their language, cool, they say anything. Your birth certificate is something they give you. It's nothing that you make up yourself. The African American doesn't think enough that far ahead. They always get whatever they got from somewhere else. And that's what they go by. The African American doesn't think of anything to do for himself or his progeny, his relatives. Somebody tells him what to do, right or wrong. So the dead baby scam, look it up. This is what happened to all of us when you're born. They just say you died and your placenta is you, and they make money off of you that way. You do know that, right? This is how all these people get over. And guess what? We don't know. We too busy calling ourselves Greeks. We too busy calling ourselves Moors, Hebrew Israelites, and people are using because you are a natural resource to America. You do know that, right?
Oh yeah, with the birth
You're,
certificate.
you're a natural resource. You don't know that. And that's what all these cats are running around telling you foundational Black America. Is that the dumbest thing you ever heard? This is what we do.
This is what they do. They program us in the school, believing that we got great leaders and founders and explorers and all these, the great attributes of America. And this is a bunch of scallywags and criminals. They're a bunch of daggone disgusting refuse from the earth. And why do you expect them to be upstanding when this is what we're dealing with? We should never be surprised about the criminal aspect of what they do and the level of lies and the level of cover-ups that is what that is the fabric of this country. Because this country was built by people that stole.
From
They
us.
stole it. Trespassers who steal. Trespassers who steal and stay.
Listen, here's something that'll help everybody on this call. Now, one of the people I talk to all the time are nurses and military people. Why those two? Because they've seen a lot of stuff that the majority of the population haven't seen. The majority of the population never seen a baby being born. I mean, they were born themselves, but they never actually seen it. A lot of people never seen somebody actually die while they were holding their hand. Nurses and military people roll into stuff like that. So with those people, when you talk to them, just ask them certain questions. And one of the questions nurses always tell me is that every time a little baby girl is born, she's born with her eggs already attached to her. I find that amazing because it means that you were here when your mother got here. You just wasn't activated yet. So this will help everybody in the chat. Find out what your grandmother was eating around the time. What was the major crop where she lived, whatever county she lived in, whatever county they grew up in, what was the major crop, the major food source? How did she get her vitamins and minerals to keep on moving on? You might want to ask your mother, what did she feed your mother when your mother was a little teenage girl or whatever, you know, in that realm. Start doing the things that she did, and you'll pick up some of the strength because those people, a lot of those people lived to be well into their hundreds. A lot of those men were able to pick up trees. I mean, they used to race with tree trunks. I'm sure you've seen the images. They were doing things because they were connected to the earth. Why? Because the earth bore them. So this is when Lisa say this is your home. This is what she means. This is you. We should be able to communicate telepathically. We don't. We know why. We should be able to do a whole bunch of stuff, but we're not connected to the earth no more. We walking on concrete and rubber soled shoes. This is how they can disconnect you from the land. You don't build your own homes no more. Could you imagine if all the Negroes who lived in Chicago moved back to Mississippi? What they could create? Just think of it for a minute. Think of that. I mean, what would you do to Mississippi now? That's your home. You got oil stuff down there, but you say you're a Pan African, turning over all the resources that your people left for you, turn them to turning them over to other people. That's what foundational Black Americans do. That's what African Americans do. That's what Hebrew Israelites do. They want to be somebody else so bad, they'll turn over all their riches to anybody who come begging for them, right or wrong.
That's right.
So this is how we losing, y'all. And listen, I mean, I don't know if I might be now. I ain't gonna be the only one, but come on, y'all. Really, What do you think our children think about us? What do you think our children think about us when they see us, all we do is complain? What you think about us? What are you doing about it? Nothing. You going every day to help him build his empire on your land. You look dumb when you're trying to tell your children something and you're doing what you're telling them not to do. Don't work like that, y'all. So this is why I'm saying connect back to your land. That's the only way it's gonna work. Find out who your people are. So found out my grandmother's, the boy that was born before my grandmother, he died on my birthday. So I like when I go looking up for my family and stuff and seeing who the people were in my family, I like connecting myself that way. You know, I mean, it's not much, but it makes me go, okay, dang, because he could have been me,
Or you could be him,
or I could be him.
which is a real fly.
Right. So this is why I say look up your family. They are the most important thing you have in your life right now. I yield, Lisa.
Absolutely right. And the more you do connect, like those little connections about knowing his name and knowing y'all share the same birthday, that kind of stuff, that's what lights you up. And, really, my life is boss. I will literally tell you, my life is being bossed by dead people right now. Like, literally, it is. Dead people are directing me. And I know that sounds weird, but it really is. I'm not doing all this extra stuff and filing this lawsuit and organizing and trying to get my people all together and getting our damn government together and trying to get things cracking because I don't even know why. But that's what I mean. I'm being bossed by dead people. This is something I couldn't imagine that I'd be doing a few years ago. And this is the main part of my life. The main part of my life where my kids didn't even want to have nothing to do with. When I first did a indigenous summit in Virginia 4 years ago now, almost, my kids, my neither one of my kids came. Neither one of them came because I was unemployed. I couldn't even afford to do it, but I was going to do it. And I was under a trance. I was under a trance. I knew I had to do the summit, and I didn't have a job, and I was begging my sisters for money, and we weren't even speaking, and they gave the money, and it was like all these things came together in a crazy way, and cousins came from all over the country that I didn't expect, and it's like it's you have to understand the power that you obtain when you really start connecting and walking the way you should be and doing what you're supposed to be doing, that your ancestors tell you to do. When you start researching and finding out who you really are, connecting those pieces and saying those names, and then going out and reaching out to them, going to grave sites, whatever, you will be amazed about the stuff that you can do, and you don't understand how you're doing it, why you're doing it, how it's happening, why it's working, because this is the time. Like if you're a biblical person, which I know Carrie is not, but me, I studied the Bible as a child a lot. And this is if you are that person that does read that piece of work, this is Jubilee time. This is Jubilee time. It means that everything must return to you. It is time. It's time for your, not more than your restitution. All these things that you need, that you should have been having, everything is going to be corrected. If you don't know it, believe the people that don't even believe in this shit knows it. They're scared that we are waking up. They're afraid that we're going to, know that we don't need to be begging. They want to keep us in a realm where to please give us some reparations. They want to keep us in begging mode. We're not in begging mode. We're in manifestation mode. We're manifesting our rightful place. We're manifesting abundance in us now, not later. And we have to set it up for our people so that generations from now, your great, 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 greats have it different. They ain't going through this. They know who they are. They got their land. They got money. They got businesses. They know how to roll. They know they got to trust each other and be down with each other no matter what. We forgive, we forget, we move on. We help each other no matter what. And we give to each other. We give to each other till it hurts. You know, give, when I don't know if you felt this, when you so-called loan somebody, because if you loan somebody, it ain't no damn loan. I hope y'all know that. A loan ain't no damn loan. If you get paid back, just be shocked. Be thankful, but don't expect it. If you loan some money and you get that ache in your stomach, when you get that ache in your stomach because you're like, dang, I shouldn't have said yes to that much amount. I shouldn't have given that much amount. When you give as much to somebody, your family or a friend, somebody within your realm, or somebody outside your realm, maybe a new person, a stranger, maybe a new kid, I don't know. But when you give of yourself to a real situation till your stomach aches, like you're like, oh my God, I feel physically ill, then that's, you were supposed to do that. That's what you're supposed to do. Like seriously, we have to be that about each other. I know that this probably sounds crazy to somebody, to some of y'all. Give to you are physically ill. Have you given to someone to you are physically ill? Like you're like, oh God, I feel actually ill that I did that. Experience that over and over again, because that's how we are going to manifest a big win. That's how we are going to do it. We have to be willing to do that for each other and be that for each other, to give to each other and extend ourselves to the point that it's uncomfortable. That's how we're going to build, because we've been taught and conditioned to trust everybody else but each other. You think Wall Street got rebuilt because they didn't trust each other? They were winning 3 years after Wall Street got bombed. That's what the story they don't tell you. They was thriving 3 years after that fact. There's videotape to prove it. Them people were balling out. They were able to do that because they trusted each other and they worked together. You don't build a Wall Street without trust. That means you're investing. That means you're actually putting your money out there till your stomach hurts, till you're holding your breath. Can we get to that place where we understand and overstand that we have to fall into each other's laps in that way, trust each other to catch each other? I close my mic.
Well, Lisa, thank you for joining us tonight. And as always, we'll see you next week. One more thing I want to add before we get out of here. As many of you know, I was born in Los Angeles, California, but my people are from Alabama, Lowndes County, Alabama. One of the things that is real popular in LA is everybody moves to LA for whatever reason, the Hollywood, the sunshine, jobs, military, blah, 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 whatever. I know a lot of times we talk about us being from the South, but one of the unknown histories is, and this is why it's important, it's imperative that you look up your folks. We don't talk about Iowa. We don't talk about Kansas. We don't talk about Wisconsin. We don't talk about Missouri. You know, indigenous people lived up there too. Remember, that's what your beloved Buffalo Soldiers went and helped kill those brothers out. See, we got to remember these stories and we got to remember the things that we've done, how we think, what we do to make what's going on happen. Because a lot of it we do. And we do it for whatever reason. We need a job. I ain't got no money. However, we do it. But a lot of stuff that's been done on this land, we did it to ourselves. So just don't think that we're from the South. Sure, a lot is, of course. But also, you have to check out the wars that went on. Because most people, if you look at a map, you should figure out that the Amazon forest came up to North America and swept through where Oklahoma and all that used to be forest, used to be part of the Amazon forest. Birds, squirrels could travel from Florida to Canada without ever touching the ground. That's the canopy that was overhead. So, just don't look at the people. The people, yeah, are important. But what about the environment? How the environment change? What was going down there in Florida? Where's those islands around Florida? Some of them sank. The Caribbean. You go down to the Caribbean and take a glass bottom boat trip, you'll immediately know that all those lands are connected. What happened? And we have to know these things too, because history is just not the movement of people. The environment was changed on us too. That's why a lot of us are twisted up now. We're not in the same environment. So these are some things to think about. Get with your family. I mean, because you probably got your next door neighbor. You probably live in Seattle, Washington. Your next door neighbor was probably your cousin when your great 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 grandmama was down south or in the Midwest. It's imperative that you get with your family, your cousins, friends of the family, because all you guys are related. And together, world is your oyster. We'll look to see you guys next week. Peace.